hope so. Hello, Rotarians and guests. Hi. Come on in and take a seat. What's that? It's fine, yes. Okay. Hello, Rotarians and guests, and welcome to the Rotary Club of San Jose, meeting number 5,484. If everyone could take their seats, that'd be great. My name is Matt Breaker, and I have the honor and privilege of leading our club and our meetings for this Rotary year, so welcome to everyone. Thank you. So folks, it's, as everyone's getting settled in here, it's Wednesday, and it's 12:15, so do we know what that means? I know. Showtime! That means it's officially showtime, folks. Please take your seats. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to today's greeting line, which was the Fun and Friendship Committee led by Kathleen Thomas and Dagmar Schalwasch. I butchered it, I'm sorry. You'll correct me later. Okay, folks, let's get started here. Today we've got on the traveling marks a couple people. Do we have traveling microphones here? Here we go. Okay, we've got Julie Anderson and Ben Leach. Julie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, hello.
Introduce yourself, please. Tell us who your sponsor is. And
who am I? Yes.
Yeah,
Hi.
exactly.
I am Julie Anderson. I'm the Executive Director of Recovery Cafe San Jose. We're a block away. We're a community of support and services for people working to recover from homelessness, addiction, mental health issues, incarceration, and any kind of other life trauma.
Good for
So
you.
my sponsor is Janica Clem from Heritage Bank of Commerce. I'm not sure if she's here today, but I'm just happy to be here.
Terrific. Well, welcome. And Ben, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ben Leach. I'm the Executive Director of the Preservation Action Council of San Jose. My sponsor is Rod Diridon, who is here somewhere. I saw him, and glad to be here.
Excellent. Welcome. Well, I'd like to again welcome Rotarians and guests. If you are a Rotarian with a guest, can you please both rise, and we'll have some introductions here. We're going to start on the left side, as I've been told to do here. All right, let's go for it.
Hi, my name is Uyen Nguyen, and my sponsor is Heather Lenner, and I'm a Red Badger. Today, my guest is Billy Phoenix. She was born in San Jose, went to Brown University for architecture, and just recently came back, and she's my colleague at my work.
Welcome. Now, folks, last week I tried to introduce our lovely welcome device here that was created by Dave Monley. We had a few kinks with it, but I think we've got them worked out. So why don't we give a big rounding thank you to Dave Monley for his great work over here. Keep your eye on this. We do have some fun and excitement going on over here. Okay, let's go on. Here's Bunny. Hello.
President Matt, I'm Bunny Layden. My sponsors are James Williams and Dick Conniff. And today I'd like to introduce Dr. Simone Lundquist. This is her second visit, and she's from Open Doors to Future Possibilities.
Wonderful. Welcome. Past President Carl Salas.
Hey, President Matt, you look so good up there. Hey, I'm really proud to introduce my neighbor. He's a realtor, but he runs the pedicab company that does all those pedicabs downtown.
Love
This is
it.
Steve Barkley.
Okay, welcome. Oh, it's Past President's Alley, Past President Heather Lerner.
Hello, past president and our esteemed president. My sponsor was Vice Mayor Pam Foley. That feels good to say that. I also want to let you know I'm also your area governor.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you so
Let's hear it
much.
for
Thank you so
Past President Heather.
I love this applause sign. If you guys can't see it, there's a little applause sign up
Yeah,
there.
come on, folks.
My guest today is Scott Hartman. He's a performer in our San Jose Symphony, and he also is on the board of the Santa Clara Symphony and has many other talents. So welcome, Scott.
Yes, welcome. Very good. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Michelle Zhang. My sponsor is Rod Diridan. I'm very happy to introduce my two guests. Yudi Deng, she's visiting from Palo Alto Rotary Club. And Ning Bao, he's a legal counsel at TikTok.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome.
President Matt, Norm Holberg.
Norm, hello. So nice to see you, Norm.
Oh, that's very kind of you. My guest is Heidi Shu, is an analyst with our company, Valbridge Property Advisors. Welcome, Heidi.
Okay, welcome. Thank you. Arthur, hello.
Good morning, President Matt. That sounds good to say. Listen, I have a guest. She's a retired dentist, an expert on sleep apnea, and she's an expert pianist. So if you ever need a pianist, she's superb.
Wonderful.
Her name is Teresa Frank.
Welcome, Teresa.
Hello, Mr. President and Rotarians. My name is Vivian Tran. My sponsors are Sarju Naran and Michelle Loxton. Today I have Peninsula College Fund Scholar and our newest summer intern, Michelle Graciano.
Welcome. Arthur.
Hello, President Matt. We have several guests here today. Dave Yik, who's the immediate past president of the Chinese Historical and Cultural Project. Let's see, we have sitting next to him, Chris Joachim, who is also the Vice President of Education for the Chinese Historical Cultural Project. Then on this side, we have Catherine Liu, founder of Compass Point Mentoring, and two guests, Grant Hom and Emily Cheng from Compass Point Mentoring. Did I miss anybody?
Excellent. Welcome. Is that Sandra Gill over there? Hello.
Yes, hello, President Matt, and my sponsor is, or was, Sue Smith. And today I have Colleen Winchester. She's retired from the city attorney's office.
Very nice.
Ready to start volunteering.
I love it. Welcome.
Continue volunteering. Thanks.
Daniel, here we go.
No, making these guys work. That's how we do it over here. President Matt,
Welcome.
good to see you.
Hello.
You're doing
Yes.
great, looking great.
Thank you.
We have Noelle Rabago, excuse me, Rabago. She
Filling
is
up-
the Chief Corporate Outreach Officer, still trying to get this right, in the Office of Economic Development with the city.
Oh, terrific. Well,
And,
welcome.
she's a guest of mine and my father's and Michelle Wang.
Excellent. Terrific.
Same.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
All sorts of mistakes up here
I
today.
think that's it. Well, welcome to all of our guests and today's show. Let's see. Next up, we've got our Blue Badge presentations. Yes. So, I think everyone knows, but just for those who don't, your first year in the club, you're a Red Badger. You're getting to know, joining committees, working the barbecue, and then after 1 year of service as a Red Badger, you become official, full-fledged members, and you receive your Blue Badge. And we're going to do that today with two folks. We've got Artie Arion and Tony Mata. I saw Artie earlier. Tony Mata, come on up. Let's hear it for Tony. And here's Artie. Excellent. We'll swap out the red badge for the blue badge and take a photo. All right, we're still working out some kinks in our little work here. Welcome to both of them. So, all right, let's see here. Yeah, we're running a little ahead schedule, and I saw Norm Holberg here. Yes. Can a traveling mic person please get Norm a microphone? Yes, Norm, I'm talking to you over here. Now, while we're getting the microphone over to him, just a little background. Norm, fabulous Rotarian, and for years, Norm has been driving his fabulous I think it's a 1954 Oldsmobile convertible in the rose, white, and blue parade with the president seated in it up top, lots of visibility, lots of fun. In his defense, this year he did say he'd be happy to do that again. I walked in the parade with Rotarians and our mobile van, which was a lot of fun. But Norm, I got there, we had a multitude of Rotarians there. I looked for you. You were nowhere to be found. I even looked for you on the parade route, completely absent from that. And then last week we have our first meeting. I'm looking to comment on it. You're nowhere to be found again. In my world, that's called count one and count two. So what say you? Where were you?
Well, for your first meeting, I was sleeping.
Ooh, I think we're just going to have to double it up. No.
Because I just came back the night.
Fighting words, yes.
Because I came back the night before from where I was during the parade, which was Norway, and I was sleepy. So.
Okay, well, so your defense is that you were halfway around the world for part of it and then snoozing. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, so how long were you away?
I was away for 10 days.
Okay, now you've been in the club how long, Norm? I'm putting on the serious voice now.
30, yeah, it sounds like it. I heard count one, count two. I heard Count Dracula up there, wanting blood. I've been in the club for 39 years.
Okay, well then you know that when we take trips as Rotarians, we like to go visit other clubs, report back, maybe take a picture of this stuff. Did you visit a club you said Norway?
Norway.
Did you visit a club?
No.
No visiting a club. I'm going to let you off on count one for being all the way around the world, and I'll even, because we're tolerant here, count two. But I'm sorry, no visiting another club. That's a finable offense. $100, Norm. I'm sorry. Here you go.
Oh, I think that's a bargain.
It is a bargain. Okay, we've got, next we're going to have Sal. We're going to introduce something a little this year. We're going to introduce a little something called some walk-up music. Come on up. Past President Sal.
I like that. Classy. How long does it last? We were at
It's 15 seconds. Now, the question for you is, why did we select that song, Let the Good Times Roll? For you.
Was it because my theme of my president year was Let the Good Times Roll?
That is exactly correct. So welcome
So I win a
up here.
prize,
You
okay.
do, exactly. All right, here we go. We're going to have Around Town with Sal, one of my favorite programs. Take it away.
All right, thank you.
And you know the routine.
Oh, I do. Although new laptop, I like this. Very impressive. Okay, so great to be back. New Year, still lots of stuff going on in downtown San Jose. Summer, people say summer is quiet. Not true at all. Oh, see, there we go. Started that music again. Okay, first off, most of our theaters are kind of quiet for the summer. We got a couple of things going on though. Head Over Heels opens this weekend at City Lights. Now, that's right. This is a classical tale that is layered with the 1980s music of the Go-Go's. So it's a musical. It's fantastic, I understand. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And also, Kevin Hoggy, who was one of our speakers earlier this year, will take his last bows as artistic director of CMT San Jose later this month when they stage Disney's Frozen, running for 2 weekends, beginning July 25th at the Montgomery Theater. So you can check both of those out. This Thursday, you guys have got a lot of your cowboy gear on already. City Dance San Jose continues with country music and dance starting at 6 p.m. at the Circle of Palms right outside the Museum of Art. Of course, museum admission is free that day as well. They'll give you a dance lesson. There will be some bites courtesy of Mezcal that you can purchase, I believe, and that is a fun time. Future dates include Cumbia on August 14th and Salsa on September 18th. And there's also some fun stuff happening at the Tech this month. The world's largest live domino and machine build is taking place right now this week. And on Saturday at 1 p.m., they're going to have the big tumble, as they call it. So they're going to push it down and see it all come together. So you don't really want to be late for that.
And you might recognize Matt Robin as the MC of that event.
Oh, voice of God. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. You might recognize him. Will his kilt fall down during the big tumble, one wonders?
That doesn't count against my time, by the way. He interrupted. And on July 24th, the Tech will open its doors to the 21 and over crowd, and I think that's most of us here, for the Tech at Night, which also has an 80s, 90s throwback vibe to it. They're going to have drink specials, DJs. It is a really fun opportunity to see the Tech in a different light, literally. And then we've got Music in the Park returning to Plaza de Cesar Chavez this month with a trio of shows. You've got freestyle DJ Stevie B on Friday. On Saturday, Psychedelic Furs. I think a lot of fans, Psychedelic Furs in here, okay. And then Sunday, you've got an island party with Island Music of the Year winner Fia with Western Conference and Akari. And there'll be more Music in the Park stuff later in the summer, but this is how it kicks off. And finally, of course, because my next one of these won't happen till afterwards, got to let you know about San Jose Jazz Summerfest coming up. Great headliners, Common, John Pizzarelli, Bilal, PJ Morton, Butcher Brown, Mavis Staples, and I'm really excited about the Preservation Hall Jazz Band coming back. It's August 8th through 10th. You know it's the best weekend in downtown San Jose, bar none. And it's going to be greater this year because they are bringing these statues, these towering animal statues from Mexico called alebrijes, and they'll be on display throughout downtown for several weeks during the festival and afterwards. So you'll want to come and check that out. Tickets start at $35 for child during the day, $645 3-day pass. So sanjosejazz.org for that. And that's all I got this month. President Matt.
We'll work on the walk-off music next time. All right, perfect. It's one of my favorite programs. Today's greeting line was Fun and Friendship, so we're going to hear from some Fun and Friendship folks, which got a lot of things going on this year. So please welcome Dagmar.
Well, howdy, y'all. I'm getting into the country theme for President Matt here.
Sorry, I'm still learning here.
You're still learning? Okay, this is the little slide. Okay.
Right, this one to
okay.
go forward.
This one?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, great. And where's my co-chair, Kathleen? Oh, right there. So I'm here to represent the Fun and Friendship Committee and tell you a little bit about all the good stuff we have planned for the year ahead. We'll attempt to bring you one social event per month. Just to foster some fun and friendship and get to know each other a little more on the social level. And we'll start off in August 23rd at the beautiful backyard at the home of Mike Bohr and Nancy Williams downtown with music and munchies. We'll have sign-ups starting next week. This should be a fun event because there's music and there's food. And there might be drinks as well. So get your calendars out and mark your calendars, and then you'll be able to sign up starting next week for this event. And this will be followed in September by our barbecue in honor of President Matt. We'll have a country theme. And we are planning on having line dancing, and we're planning on having games, and also the first big Rotary pie baking contest. So if you're a baker, which I am not, we're still looking for somebody to lead this because neither Kathleen nor I are great bakers. So let us know if you can help. So we'll have that in the lineup for the barbecue. We're trying to set a new attendance record. We would love to get everybody there, all the members, any neighbors, any colleagues, acquaintances, family, friends, anybody you can grab off the street and convince to come. I know that President Matt is planning on having some great incentives that he'll announce sometime later. So please do join us. We also will continue to bring you our signature events in collaboration with a couple of club committees. So I have to read this. So we have Christmas, fall barbecue, Christmas in the Park, the gala on March 28th. We have a bocce tournament. We have Fish Day, the Bryan Adams Mini Masters, the spring barbecue, all dates TBD, and then the 4th of July fun at the parade, and hopefully fireworks again next year. So we are currently also planning our May firesides. Those of you who have been to a fireside know that these are very fun. We're looking for some folks to open up their homes to host some smaller events. And as you can probably imagine, to plan all of this and put it on, it takes a village. So shout out to the Fun and Friendship Committee, if you can just like wave and so people can see who you are. Thank you. And we'd absolutely love it if you could join us on the Fun and Friendship Committee and divide and conquer and make sure that everybody is having some fun this year in Matt's presidency. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, this is, in my view, this year all about engagement. So, at the beginning of the meetings, I've got the coming soon, which is up there, which we have events that are going to be listed. I'm hoping that when you come in, you'll just look up there, check those things out, pull out the phone, put it on your calendar early, and let's get the engagement going this year, because those events are a lot of fun, and they help fuel what we do here at Rotary. Okay, next up, we've got Ring the Bell, folks. This is our chance to share some good news about yourself, about a loved one, and make a donation to the Rotary Endowment, which fuels our committees, fuels our grants and our big projects. So please, we'll get the traveling mics going, and we're going to start off here with President-elect Tim Gill. Take it away.
Good afternoon, President Matt. That does have a nice ring to it. Anyway, our table is going to ring the bell. A lot of people went to Calgary, but a lot of people are wondering, what the heck are we wearing these hats for? This is a big thing in Calgary. They have the Calgary Stampede, and it celebrates their Western culture. So also at every meeting, at least several times, we all had to yell out Yahoo. So in the count of 3, we're all, and I mean all of us, are going to yell Yahoo. 1, 2, 3. Yahoo!
Yahoo! Nicely done.
That was about a C+. I'll give you one more time. Let's make it an A, because we don't want to do this all afternoon. 1, 2, 3.
Yahoo!
Okay, back to business. All right.
Love it.
I want to ring the bell one time for all the people who went to Calgary. We're all unofficial Calgarians. So one time for that, but also for Brenda Sweeney. She wants to ring the bell for Mark McKenna, because Mark really represented our club so well. He gave 4 talks at the Environmental Forum. So one time for Mark McKenna as well.
Okay, so 2 rings. Thank you so much, President-elect Tim. Okay.
And
Sandra Gill.
I would like to ring the bell once, Matt, for you, and congratulations on your presidency, and we're looking forward to your year.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you so much, Sandra. Terry Chapman.
And I'd like to ring the bell one time. And Matt, as much as I would like to do it for you, we all know you're a princess. But I'm feeling it more for the queen of your household, for Sid, who's going to have to put up with you this whole year. So my ring the bell is for Sid.
I love it, Terry. I love it. Yes, I referenced the princess nickname at the personal, and actually, Mark McKenna, I think, had a good thought at the Calgary. He said, yeah, you can say make the reference to princess, but it's going to be a $100 fine for each reference. But have fun with it, folks. Kathleen Thomas, take it away.
Kathleen Thomas, and I had a great time in Calgary. Thanks, Matt, for organizing. But I also wanted to say, you have not lived until you've been in a stadium of people of a certain age singing Born to be Wild. We went to a rock concert. It was awesome. I wanted to ring the bell one more time, and really, he deserves $1 million, just for our dear friend Mike Conniff and his honor.
Absolutely, wonderful.
Matt, you were the boss in Calgary. It was amazing, and thank you for all of that. You get the bell once.
Look at this. Thank you so much. All right, here we go.
President Matt, we're over here with our white hats on, and you did an amazing job in Calgary, but where is your white hat?
Who's finding who?
I'd like to ring the bell once in honor of Mike Conniff, and I'd like you to join me because you don't have a white hat on.
You said it exactly right. Don't get any ideas, folks. Government employees, so here we go. There we go.
Hi, President Matt.
Hello, past President Karen.
I was in Calgary. I didn't get a hat, but I want to ring the bell once for the free dinner you gave us.
Oh, there we go.
President Matt, I'd like to ring the bell twice. First, in your honor for an amazing convention in Calgary. And second, just to share that while I was in Canada, I went to Jasper and delivered the Disaster Relief Committee's $2,500 check for fire relief and got to meet a really fantastic member from their club.
Oh, that is wonderful, wonderful. Ed.
I'm going to find myself once for not going to Calgary because it looks like I really missed out. And then 2 rings. Sagacent has been climbing the ranks in IT for a long time. We've been 10 times on the top 501 IT providers on the planet.
Fabulous.
Last year, we hit number 58 on the planet.
Love it.
This year, we hit 43. So 2 rings, 1 for last year, 1 for this year.
Terrific. And 1 for Calgary. I love it, Ed. Sarah Janigan.
Hi, President Matt. This is great. So much to celebrate. Our family has had big news in the last month and a half, and I want to celebrate with everybody. Our 9th grandchild was born last week in San Diego, Chase Michael, and I'd like to ring the bell 9 times for all the other grandchildren.
Wow,
that
I
joined
love
the-
it, Sarah.
the
Here we
cousin
go.
crew.
That is
And
fabulous.
our youngest son, number 4, got engaged also and will be married next year, and we are very excited. They are all gone.
Mazel tov.
Married and gone. But we are very excited for them, and they're going to stay in San Jose. We're even more excited. So
Empty nesting
that's
done
it.
right. I love
one
it.
time for Hannah and Zach.
Terrific. Thank you, Sarah. That's terrific. Okay, here we go.
Hi, President Matt. My name's James Leventhal. I'm the Executive Director of the ICA San Jose. I wanted to ring the bell for Sal Pizarro, who after he made, there we go, who will be next Thursday celebrating, along with Gary Singh, the 20th anniversary of his writing for the San Jose Mercury News.
That is fabulous. Yes.
As Sal was making announcements of upcoming events and working so hard to promote everybody else in the city as he does, he also didn't mention that indeed we will be having a program and conversation between Gary and Sal next Thursday evening at the ICA San Jose. It also provides a perfect opportunity to see the New York Times reviewed exhibition of Esteban Rahim Abdul Rahim Samoya's large-scale paintings, as well as the new Pobladores night markets, which Phil Maresca has recently launched over the last year or 2 and have really become a big draw in the SoFa district. Thanks so much, Matt.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Sal. Past President Brian Adams.
President Matt, first of all, in recognition of a great year last year, President Heather, thank you for everything you did last year.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Amen. Yes.
In recognition, which I know is going to be a great year under your leadership, President Matt, a couple of weeks ago, we just got back from Disneyland, all 10 of us, 4 grandchildren. As I say, I've come home with a full heart and an empty wallet. So there were 10 of us. And then it occurred to me that it was 10 years ago that I began my term at the podium. So I would, in honor of that and the great honor it is to have been a president of this club, 10 rings, please.
Wonderful. Fabulous. Very nice. All right. Steve Prouty,
yeah,
come
that
on
was
down.
an amazing presentation, President Brian. So, count the rings here. So 1 for Heather for her year. She did a fabulous job, and I know we're already off to a great start with you, so another ring for you. A ring for the membership committee on the job that they did last year in bringing in a record number of new Rotarians, and also for the gala committee because of the work that they do in the fundraising that allows us to give back to the community. the way we do. And then finally, Sarah, I think, did 9 rings. Let's add one more to make that a nice round 1,000. So that's 5 rings.
Wonderful. Steve Prouty. Okay, here we go. Yes.
Hello, this is Tudo.
Yes, hi, Tu.
I'd like to ring one bell for Mike Kniff. I'm very sad when my friends here mention his name. He's one of my most favorite members of this club. I used to look for him when I came to this meeting, and if the seat next to him is available, I would sit next to him. So I really miss Mike Kniff.
Me too. Yeah, Mike was a wonderful Rotarian. Thank you, too. Yes. All right. Anybody else? Well, that was terrific. All right, I like it. We're going to do a couple of quick announcements here. So tomorrow night we've got the Downtown Happy. There we go. The Downtown Happy Hour, which is going to be 5 to 6:30 at Hoppa's Brewing Company. I don't know if you've been to one of these yet. I went to the last month's one. It was absolutely fabulous. Lots of Rotarians, lots of folks from the chamber. Great social, great fun. I think these things are terrific for camaraderie, meeting new people, so come on out for that. And then we've also got, we're getting the golf committee going this year under the direction of Nicholas Adams. And the next one, we've already, this month, July and Monday is the first outing, and that's actually sold out. But in August, we're going out to the Almaden Country Club on August 19th. So if you'd like to register for that, contact Nicholas Adams. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yes, let's come back to the Rotary Fall Barbecue, September 10th. Mark it on your calendar. Bring a friend, bring a perspective, bring a partner. It's going to be a good time. And let me also take this time to tell you that next week's speaker is going to be Regina Selson-Williams, who's talking about who gets to stay, why housing is the heart of San Jose's future. Sounds like it's going to be an interesting talk. And today, we've got the fabulous Gloria Hom talking to us today. And Gloria, a contribution has been made in your honor to the Children's Musical Theater, which is one of the fabulous organizations we're sponsoring this year. And I've got a wonderful challenge coin for you here today. And let's have a lovely introduction from Arthur Jew. Take it away, Arthur.
Actually, I don't really need to introduce Gloria. It seems like she knows everybody here. But I do have a prop today, which is a proclamation issued earlier this year by the city of San Jose City Council declaring February 24th Thomas Foon Chu Day, thanks to the effort of our very own Rotarian Council member David Cohen and our student here, Grant Hom, who's sitting here with us today. But who was Thomas Foon Chu, and why did he earn this rare citywide recognition? Well, we're honored to have his granddaughter, Dr. Gloria Hom, with us today to share his incredible story. Gloria is a trailblazer in her own right. She was the first woman admitted to the Palo Alto Rotary Club and also served as its president. She's also been our district endowment chair, membership chair, and area representative. A respected educator and civic leader, she served on the boards of the California State Teachers Retirement System, San Jose Historical Museum, Chinese Historical and Cultural Project in Chiam, Circle, among many others. Dr. Hom has chaired the Mission College Economics and Social Sciences Department, taught at SJSU and UC Santa Cruz, and was named an Outstanding Educator of America. She served on the CSU, as a CSU trustee on the California Board of Education and has been honored by the U.S. Department of Education. Please join us in welcoming Gloria Hom.
Thank you, Arthur. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I see so many friends and, you know, people I haven't seen for a while. I almost feel like this is my club. It's not just your club, but I'm just delighted to be here and talk about my favorite subject, which is my grandfather. First of all, I wanted to have a disclaimer on this talk, and that was, I never knew my grandfather. He died before I was born, and so most of this talk is from the San Jose Mercury At that time, it was called the San Jose Mercury Herald, and the San Francisco Chronicle, as well as the Examiner, as well as many of the articles. But most of all were the anecdotes about my grandfather from my family, as well as when I did the interviews, the people in El Viso, you know, like vows in El Viso. And this is a tribute to my mother's family, who sometimes I think didn't get the recognition that her family deserves. So I wanted to spend just a little while talking about the setting. And first of all, China, as you know, is the same size, geographical size as the United States, but it's about 4 times the population of the area. And, you know, you probably wondered why they came here. What was the diasporas of their coming? And there was a push and a pull. And the push was economic and political unrest in China, weather problems, famine, floods. And the pull, of course, was the California gold rush. It was the railroads that were coming in. Agriculture was booming, as well as the fisheries. And most of all is they had relatives here in America. And most of them came into San Francisco. It was the first port of entry and the largest Chinatown. By the 1880s, there was 100,000 Chinese people in California. In fact, it's said that 1 out of every 10 persons were Chinese in California at that time. And let me tell you, they all came from one little village, and this is one little area in China, much the size of Milpitas, you know, about that size. And they were all from the South China. They spoke a different language. They had different customs than the people in the north, in Beijing and Shanghai. They were just a different grouping here. And so by 1882, there was the very famous exclusion laws, and that was the first time America earmarked a certain population and told them that they could not come in anymore unless they had birthright citizenship and their parents were here. So my great-grandfather actually had a little cannery in San Francisco, and it was called Presida. It was near Sampson and Broadway streets. And in 1987, he returns to China to bring over his son. And it takes him 2 years to get him to America. So he comes in 1897. This is Thomas Fun, who is born in 1889. So he comes in, but his mother doesn't come in for 5 years. And because my great-grandfather was a single parent, he takes him to Los Gatos with relatives. So he actually grows up in Los Gatos. At this time, the South Bay, as you know, is booming, and even San Jose has electricity. Here's a picture of Thomas Fun Chu in Los Gatos Elementary School. And now this is when the story gets really, I think, really exciting, and that is he's in elementary school in Los Gatos, but he works on the farm in El Viso. Now the farm, let me tell you, this farm in El Viso was owned by A.P. Giannini, and he plays a big role in my grandfather's life. A.P. Giannini, A.P. Giannini's father was Luigi Giannini, and he owned a little, well, maybe it was a big one, but he owned an interest in the Swiss Hotel in downtown San Jose. And he traded his interest in this Swiss hotel for 40 acres in El Viso. And so my grandfather was just working in this 40 acres in El Viso. And when AP was 6 years old, he stood next to his father, and there was an altercation with a farmhand over over pay, and the farmhand killed his father and just shot his father. And AP was 6 years old, so the mother takes the two boys, he has an older brother, takes the two boys back to Italy, and she marries Lorenzo Scatina. And he comes over, they still have this 40 acres in El Viso, and my grandfather was just working it as a farmhand. And the Scatina had no interest in farming, and AP had no interest in farming. So the family then moves up to San Francisco. Scatina becomes very interested in produce, in moving the produce, in being a hauler of produce and selling produce. And so what happens is he becomes very successful. AP becomes very successful. And with a handshake, he says to my grandfather, look, why don't you do the farming in El Viso? And it was just through a handshake. And he also said, if you need seed money, I will give you a loan. AP Giannini was the first banker who ever loaned money to immigrants. And, as long as he trusted the immigrant with a handshake, he had the seed money. And that was when my grandfather not only had the cannery in El Viso, but he had a cannery in Ileton, where he grew asparagus and was known as the Asparagus King. He also had a farm in Dos Palace that grew rice, and he had canneries in Oregon as well as in Monterey, and he would can there. So let's talk a little bit about El Viso. How many of you know where El Viso is? Oh, well, I don't have to tell you that El Viso is a great port. It had the railroads already. It had the port, and they could ship produce to San Francisco and to Sacramento. In 1906, Thomas Funchu was 17, and it destroyed San Francisco. But being in El Viso, he was protected in some ways. But they wanted to expand the cannery. So El Viso had its own problems. One of the problems was that it flooded every year. In fact, they didn't stop the floods until after San Jose had annexed El Viso to San Jose. It was a great industrial port. He had to do something about the floods, and he wanted to build one of the biggest canneries. And Bayside Cannery was the third largest cannery in the United States at the time. It was only third to Libby's and Del Monte. And here is a picture of the cannery in El Viso. It was really very large, and the interior was just lined with cans of tomatoes. And he was known for growing tomatoes. This is a picture of the workforce in this plant 1. They had 6 plants, but this was the largest of all the plants, was in El Viso. And business began to grow. He was an innovator. You know, he had all kinds of innovation, and this was one where he would have a fleet of cars, of trucks, and in the morning he would have benches in the trucks, and he would go and pick up the workers, and the workers were primarily Italians and Portuguese women, and then he would take out the seats in the truck, and then he would put the produce in the trucks and cart them to the main where they're being canned, and then he would then use the trucks again to take the workers back to their homes. Now, I had the great fortune of meeting Fred Wool, and I know some of you must know Fred Wool, fantastic guy. Well, he called me one day and he said, I actually printed up the labels for Bayside Cannery. Are you interested? And I said I was really interested. So this is one of the canneries, one of the labels, and they always reserve the best produce for Bayside Cannery. Here's another one, another label, and he loved the University of California colors, but they not only packed for Bayside, they packed for 9 other canneries. And so you see Bohemian was another one, and he used everything that he could possibly use from a tomato. So this is for the purees. But this is my favorite of all of them. You notice on this one it says below U.S. standards, low quality but not illegal. I just thought that was such a great label. And, there is a story that says my grandfather would tell his foreman when it flooded in El Viso to hurry up. He would say, "Fightia, fightia." And if you don't hurry up, the tomatoes, the fanke, would turn into ketchup. Ketchup means tomato sauce in his dialect, in that Chinese. And that's where the terminology ketchup came from. I just wanted to say that, a few things about his personal life, that he marries a very wealthy woman from Oakland, California, when he was 18 years old. And this is a third generation Chinese, and she had bound feet. My grandmother had bound feet in Oakland, California. And her parents owned a gambling house in Oakland and did very well. He had 7 kids. Every 2 years he had a kid. My mother is the one on that side. That's right. His mother is the one sitting in the middle. My grandmother is the one sitting on your left. And my mother is the one with the big bow on her head, sitting right in the middle on the right. And they had a Los Gatos home. My grandfather loved Los Gatos because he had terrible asthma. And so when he was in Los Gatos, he didn't have the asthma, but part of the family lived in El Viso. And my uncle loved living in El Viso because he had 2 gambling casinos that he ran on the cannery land. This is an example of the elementary school that my grandfather started. My mother is the one on your right, and he even started a high school. This is my grandmother and her sister, my mother and her sister. And by the late 1920s, he suffered from his asthma, and the Depression made it even worse because because demand had dropped, but the supply had increased. It didn't increase, but the supply stayed the same, and I have the original ledgers of the Bayside Cannery. And then in 1931, at the age of 42 years old, he entered O'Connor Hospital and passed away, suffering from pneumonia. He died in February, which was really interesting because the funeral was not till May. And the reason why the funeral wasn't till May was because of Chinese New Year's, and he didn't want to interrupt, you know, the festivities of Chinese New Year's with a funeral. And he had two basic funerals, one in San Francisco and another in San Jose. And this is a picture of the procession in San Francisco. This is how the funerals usually take place, with a big picture, and they drive around the house for the last time. Now, in February, this came out in the Chronicle, and he was regarded for his integrity and that he would make deals with just a handshake. And he was to be trusted. Really a quick story, you know, the people in El Viso never had to pay water bills because he said he was going to, you know, cover the water bills. And so after he died, they got a water bill, and they were really upset. And the pallbearers in San Jose included the city manager, the mayor of San Jose, the mayor of San Francisco, and the president of the Chamber of Commerce. So he was able to go between cultures, that he was truly a marginal man. The San Jose in 2003 named a street after him, right on Zanker Road, and remnants of the cannery still exist. And there are six plaques that honor my grandfather in El Viso, and it's kind of fun to go out there and take a look at that. And I wanted to thank you for sharing the story of my grandfather. And I'm delighted to take questions, and I made the time, right? So, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's take a few questions. Traveling mics, we've got some folks.
Gay.
Gay, take it away.
Hi, Gloria. You have had a distinguished career yourself, and I wonder if you would say a little bit about that and whether the inspiration came from your family.
You know, I didn't really know a lot about my family growing up, and the reason for that is because I grew up overseas. But you know, it was fun doing all the research about my grandfather. I came over here to. There was a space in there that I wasn't here. I was born in San Francisco. And my mom, it took me overseas when I was 6 weeks old. And I thought, you know, I never really thanked her for that, because I thought, you know, I don't think I would take a daughter. I have an older sister. You know, the two of us went to Malaysia in 1940, when the war was ensuing and the Japanese had already invaded Malaysia. But my dad was a diplomat, and he was stationed in Malaysia, so we went to Kuala Lumpur when I was 6 weeks old. And so there was a big gap in there during that time, but I came back to go to college here. Yes.
Past President Fernando.
Oh, Fernando.
Your father was a diplomat. I take it that the Chinese Exclusion Act ended when China became allied with the United States and your father became a diplomat. Is that correct?
What happened was he came to Stanford for graduate school. He had already graduated from Tsinghua University, and he came here to go to graduate school. And so he came as a foreign student. And then as a foreign student, he worked in the lowest level at the Chinese consulate, and he worked his way up. And and then after he got his degree, he served full time with the nationalist government.
Did he work with Madame Chiang Kai-shek?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Actually, we came from the same village. Yes.
My name is Catherine,
Yeah, Catherine.
and I have a little bit of background, and my question for you. So we actually started with the grant, and we have summer camps in LB. So we're talking to the local people about the history, and the grant has discovered Thomas Fung Chu. And here we go. We did a lot of research. Right now we have 50 plus campers around the area. My question to you is: we are going to celebrate Thomas Fung Chu Day. Seriously. Do you mind, and it's part of the Chinese New Year time frame, do you mind we celebrate with Thomas Fung Chu Day and the Chinese New Year together at South Bay Yacht Club?
Oh, I think it's just great. I think it's great that we were able to do both at the same time. And I wanted to point out Grant. Grant is just something special. Grant, you want to stand up? Grant, you're a junior in high school? And he was the one that brought it all together, Thomas Fung Chu, and so I'm very, I'm very indebted to Grant. And he's working on a Thomas Fung Chu stamp, a U.S. stamp with Thomas Fung Chu on it, and so, we hope to hear about it. But it's really super.
Steve
Yes.
Kennedy over here on the right.
Oh, yeah, so amazing story about your grandfather. And I'm sorry you never got a chance to meet him. It sounds amazing. My maternal grandfather also died before I ever got a chance to meet him, and I regret that. But Gay asked you a question about your background, what you did after you came here. It sounds like it's a story we want to hear.
Oh, that's another story. But, it's not,
books, Dave.
It's not that exciting. Actually, I came here, went to college, went to grad school, and it's like many people of my generation that, you go to college, you meet someone, you get married, you have kids. And I have to say, my parents were in Taiwan, and I would bring the kids to Taiwan every year to see my grandkids during the summer. And I always thought at that time that if something happened to my husband, I would take all the kids and would live in Taiwan for the rest of my life. And on one visit, it occurred to me that I can't do that. That, I just won't be able to live that way. And I came back here and I decided I'm going to be American. I mean, really American, and really, embrace the culture here. And that's when I got involved in politics and just loved it and got really excited. And, people would ask me, why are you running for office? Why isn't your husband running? And I said, because he doesn't want to run. And I mean, this is in the Chinese community. And I said, because I want to give back, I really do. I mean, I'm part of the fabric of giving back. And I'm sure that was part of my grandfather. In fact, I asked the question, did he speak English? Not ever knowing him, and I asked the foreman, I said, how good was my grandfather's English? And the foreman says, better than yours. He said, if you put a blanket between him and the next person, you would think he was American. That is English. And he was a member of the Scottish Rite and the Rose Croix. And, he would have been a member of Rotary, but I guess he didn't know anyone at that. This was back in the 20s, and Rotary was just getting started. But I'm sure that he felt as comfortable in our society as certainly I do.
Tudo, I think that's a question.
Yes, this is Tu. First, I'm very reluctant to ask this question, but I'm asking anyway. I think there are some similarities between the Chinese Exclusion Act and the current anti-immigrant policy. Can you share some thought on that?
I really can't,
I know, it's
I
hard.
mean, I think people just, want to see what they want to see and look at the dark side. And there's so many, I still believe that America is the land of opportunity. And I believe that we do have the opportunity. But if we keep dwelling on the negatives, you miss the better picture, the bigger picture of what this country is all about.
Wonderfully said, yeah.
And
thank you. I know it's very hard to answer this question in this environment. Okay, thank you.
All right, I think we have time for one more question. Ed, right up here. You can go. Oh.
Rod?
Rod, make a quick question.
I've known this young lady for 50 years. We ran together for the state senate, and we were both beaten by an idiot from Cupertino who didn't even finish his first term, was recalled because of his harassment of his staff. But this young lady is remarkable. She's been the past chair of the Republican Central Committee. She's a very moderate Republican. She's been a leader in her community, president of the Rotary Club, first woman member of the Palo Alto Rotary Club. And she's led many, many community events, chaired the economics department at Mission College, and she has a wonderful family, 3 daughters who would make anybody proud. And it's so nice to have her here today. And I wish someone else said, you ought to give a talk about yourself. And indeed, I agree. You are a great role model for others.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Gloria
so
Hom.
much, Rod. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to get a quick picture taken.
Thank you.
All right, I got a little challenge going for you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gloria. That was fabulous. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Great meeting. Thanks for all that bell ringing. That was terrific. And because that's my thing, I'm going to hand you guys out with a little more country music today. We got Old Dominion singing
wow, look at
I Was
this.
on a Boat That Day. And with that, we'll call it a meeting. Thank you.
Is that a-
How are you?